He wrote this piece, which is to do with giving advice to Odysseus when he was on his way home after fighting in the Trojan War. And it highlights the importance of the journey as well as the destination. For those of you who don't know this piece, I do have a couple of copies because I find it quite moving. When you set out on your journey to Ithaca, Ithaca being Odysseus' hometown, pray that the road may be long, full of adventures, full of knowledge. Lacedaemonians, Cyclops, and angry Poseidon, do not fear them. Now those three things are: the Lacedaemonians were a race of giants, Cyclops was the angry one-eyed person, and Poseidon was a seriously fed-up god of the sea. So I'm going to take a little bit of a liberty because these names crop up again in a few lines, and I'm going to insert words that maybe faced us as obstacles during our journey. Do not fear them, for such things you will never encounter on your way if your thought remains lofty, if a noble emotion touches your spirit and your body. Depression, disease, and disappointment, fierce Poseidon, you will not encounter if you do not harbor them within your soul, if your soul does not raise these up before you. Pray that the road may be long, may the summer mornings be many, when with intense pleasure and joy you will enter harbors seen for the first time, stop at Phoenician marketplaces and buy goods, merchandise, mother of pearl and coral, amber and ebony, and pleasurable perfumes of every kind, abundant pleasurable perfumes, as many as you can. Travel to many Egyptian cities to learn endlessly from the learned. Always keep Ithaca in your mind. Arriving there is your ultimate purpose. But do not hurry the journey in the least. Better that it lasts for many years, and that finally you anchor at your island old, blessed with all that you have gained on the way, not expecting Ithaca to give you riches. Ithaca gave you the splendid journey. Without her, you would not have set out. She has nothing more to give you. And if you find her poor, Ithaca has not deceived you. Wise as you have become, with so much experience, you must have understood already what Ithacas mean. Now that destination, and I'm sure we all had many destinations along the way. If, however, the destination is finally leaving this world, then they have done that before us. We are the lucky ones who can continue with the journey for a little bit longer, even if we can't remember where we were yesterday. Thank you.
Peter, that was very moving. So there's a conclusion to that poem, because the poem that Peter just read is about Ulysses, and his name was Ulysses or Odysseus, and he fought for 10 years in the Trojan War, and until the Trojan horse and Troy fell. And then he traveled for 10 years to get back home to Ithaca. And he was married to Penelope, and she was a startlingly beautiful woman. And after 10 years, 15 years, she must have doubted whether he was ever coming back. And she was, as I said, a very attractive woman, and there were many young suitors that were claiming her attention. And she never gave up hoping that he'd come back. And he does come back, but he comes back in a disguise as a beggar with a walking stick. And he sees her and the suitors, and only one person recognizes them, and it's his dog called Argus. And this beggar comes in, and the dog makes a big fuss of him, and then he's revealed. So it's a great love story as well, and it's a love story about never giving up hope. Penny, Well, it was Penelope. Great. James, would you like to close the meeting?
Joseph, I think the skeptics are still debating whether it's the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end. But in closing, I have to refer myself to a poet, T.S. Eliot. Many of our class struggled with the time we were living in, and many struggle now with the time we're living in, and some even with the time that we're going to be living in, the wasteland. Well, we have made the best of the times in the wasteland. So, my concluding sentence really is that we shall not cease from exploration. And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive at the beginning and to know that place for the first time. In praise of this class, may we continue that journey. Thank you.